Welcome back to the battles between Shocker versus Green Arrow and who will win. Before we dive into the analysis, please remember to subscribe to my channel to support me. Thank you very much.
In the chaotic criminal world, Shocker stands as a prime example of a pragmatic and tenacious street villain. His real name is Herman Schultz, and he possesses no supernatural powers or special background. Instead, Schultz is a self-taught engineer with a practical mind and incredible resourcefulness in the most extreme circumstances. After being arrested multiple times for bank robberies, instead of accepting defeat, he used his time in prison to change the game. There, Schultz secretly created the VibroShock gloves, a technology that allows for the creation of extremely powerful shockwaves capable of destroying obstacles and defeating opponents. Without needing magic or mutations, Shocker builds his strength from intelligence and recklessness, transforming himself into a formidable threat. Despite being frequently defeated by Spider-Man, Shocker never truly disappears. He represents a B-list villain, not flashy, but incredibly persistent. Greed and survival instinct drive him to always find a way back. Shocker's uniqueness lies not in his victories, but in his ability to survive in a world where the strongest reign. He doesn't dream of becoming a legend, he simply survives and profits at all costs. This pragmatism is what gives him his unique appeal. Shocker's abilities, first and foremost, stem from the technology he creates himself. Lacking innate powers, Shocker transforms mechanical intelligence into the ultimate weapon, and the VibroShock gauntlets are central to his entire combat system. From seemingly simple devices, he creates extremely powerful vibrations, capable of destroying concrete, piercing iron doors, or even shattering sturdy safes. These shots not only inflict physical damage but also generate shocks, strong enough to stun opponents or cause internal organ damage. This power also allows Shocker to push back large objects like cars, creating long-range shockwaves that throw the battlefield into chaos. When combined with close combat, his punching power is amplified to far beyond that of a normal human, enough to put significant pressure on strong opponents. Not stopping at a fence, Shocker also knows how to protect himself with a layer of vibrations surrounding his body, minimizing the impact of direct blows and making it difficult for Spider-Man's webs to cling to him. Shocker also possesses agile acrobatic skills and sharp technical thinking, allowing him to adapt quickly to dangerous situations. However, Shocker's weaknesses are as obvious as his strengths. He doesn't possess superhuman physical abilities, and if separated from technology, he's almost just an ordinary human. His devices can be destroyed or overloaded with continuous use, and his long-range or surprise attacks are always a major threat. It's this balance between technological power and human limitations that makes Shocker a fascinating opponent. His exploits aren't flashy, but they're enough to make anyone wary. He's been involved with notorious villainous organizations like the Sinister Six and Masters of Evil, which bring together some of the most dangerous individuals. While not a prominent leader, Shocker proves his worth through his stability and ability to complete missions with cold-blooded precision. His most audacious plans involved causing a widespread blackout in New York City to extort money from the authorities. This action demonstrates that Shocker is not just a petty thief, but also possesses the strategic acumen to throw an entire city into chaos. On one rare occasion, he even defeated Spider-Man while the latter was severely injured. Shocker once overcame the Punisher in a tense confrontation, temporarily gaining control of a branch of the Magia criminal organization. He was also powerful enough to shock She-Hulk, though he couldn't ultimately win. These achievements don't make him the strongest, but they're enough to confirm that Shocker has never been an easy opponent to underestimate. His enemies range from Spider-Man to characters like Electro and even the Avengers. Despite frequently being defeated and sometimes seen as mere stepping stones to glorify the heroes, Shocker possesses something not every villain has. Shocker, he doesn't need resounding victories to prove himself. Each return is a chance for him to adapt, learn from his mistakes, and become more dangerous in his own unique way. In a world where failure often means the end, Shocker transforms it into motivation. And perhaps the most terrifying thing about him isn't his power, but the fact that he never truly disappears.
Remember to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon, and turn on notifications to watch the latest videos. Thank you very much.
Now we'll talk about Green Arrow. Before becoming a legendary archer, Oliver Queen was just an arrogant millionaire, immersed in a life of aimless luxury. But a cruel storm swallowed his ship, throwing him into a hell on earth called a deserted island. It was there, amidst absolute solitude and the fragile boundary between life and death, that Oliver returned from the darkness, no longer the frivolous man he once was. He donned his green armor, wielded his bow, and soared straight into the night of crime that enveloped Star City. No superhuman armor, no extraordinary abilities, only hands of steel, a sharp mind, and an unbreakable will. Each arrow left the bowstring was a declaration. Justice does not come from power, but from choice. Even fighting alongside the gods of the Justice League, Green Arrow never lost his identity. He fought on the streets, listened to the cries of the downtrodden, and spoke out against the injustices that the superhero world often ignored. His philosophy lay not only in the tip of his arrow, but also in his heart, which always beat for humanity. In a universe where gods soared through the skies and giants could tear through steel with their bare hands, Oliver Queen chose to enter the darkness with only a bow. And he was no less formidable. Oliver Queen was the greatest archer in Britain, capable of hitting a falling droplet, launching an arrow directly into an enemy's gun barrel before they could pull the trigger, or unleashing dozens of arrows in an instant with absolute precision. Even while performing acrobatic maneuvers in midair, his bowstring never missed its target. This was no longer mere skill, it was an art elevated to a superhuman level. Oliver's all-encompassing threat stemmed from his overwhelmingly diverse arsenal of arrows. From explosive arrows that destroyed fortified positions, acid arrows that corroded instantly, glue arrows that bound enemies in place, to smoke screens, tear gas, blinding flashes, and grappling hooks. Most notably, his specially designed arrows can penetrate even Superman's armor. Few know that Oliver Queen was trained by Natas, the same mentor who trained Deathstroke, one of the most fearsome assassins of all time. That fact speaks for itself. Combining karate, judo, and eskrima into a versatile hybrid fighting style, he can take down multiple opponents simultaneously with incredible speed and efficiency. His physique allows him to dodge bullets, endure prolonged battles without collapsing, and his tactical thinking remains sharp even in the most chaotic moments. His masterful stealth skills allow him to operate in the shadows without a trace. His exceptional adaptability enables him to turn the tide even when everything seems lost. However, every light has its shadows. Oliver Queen does not possess Superman's bloodline, iron armor, or miraculous regenerative abilities. When the enemy gets close enough before he can deploy his arrow, the line between victory and defeat becomes incredibly thin. Standing in the ranks of the Justice League alongside Superman and Batman is no privilege reserved for the average person. Yet Oliver Queen is there, not because of innate abilities, but because of a fortitude honed through bloodshed. When the city is shrouded in the darkness of organized crime, it doesn't always need a god descending from the sky. Sometimes, Star City needs someone who understands every dark alley, every hidden power network, and is willing to plunge into the eye of the storm without needing an immortal cloak. Oliver Queen is that person. Speaking of Green Arrow's exploits, one cannot fail to mention Deathstroke, the super assassin considered the pinnacle of warrior, possessing superhuman reflexes, terrifying strength, and decades of battlefield experience. Yet Oliver Queen stood before him and did not back down. That battle was not just a physical contest, but a clash of two philosophies, two wills. And in the end, Green Arrow stood firm. Merlin, the shadow archer with skills comparable to Oliver's, had long been a haunting presence following Green Arrow's every move. Count Vertigo, with his ability to completely disrupt the opponent's senses, causing any warrior to lose their sense of direction and fighting instinct. For an archer who relies absolutely on accuracy and balance, this was a nearly fatal weapon, yet Oliver found a way to overcome it, not through brute force, but through adaptation and an unyielding mindset. China White, the cold-blooded crime boss with masterful combat skills and a vast network of power. Brick, the ruler of the streets with a rock-solid physique and boundless brutality. Constantine Dracon, the assassin dubbed the fastest man to ever set foot on the earth, and Oliver Queen, who surpassed all others with a weapon no enemy could have anticipated, boundless creativity combined with special arrows deployed at the decisive moment. Oliver Queen survived hellish years on a deserted island, honing himself in the harshest conditions a human can endure. He even underwent training with the League of Assassins, the legendary shadowy organization that has trained some of the most fearsome assassins in history. In an encounter between Shocker and Green Arrow, neither relies on innate superpowers, but their approach to skill and technology makes a stark difference. Shocker leverages his long-range advantage by continuously unleashing powerful vibrations, destroying the surrounding environment to create pressure and chaos. Vehicles are flung into the air, walls crack, and entire areas quickly transform into dangerous battlefields. However, Green Arrow was no easy opponent to overwhelm. With his agile acrobatics and sharp reflexes, he accurately dodged attacks while using his arrows to deflect or target his opponent's equipment. The advantage began to shift in Green Arrow's favor. Special arrows were launched with high precision. An explosive arrow could partially damage Shocker's gloves, while net or sticky arrows were enough to restrict his movement. In particular, powerful light-based stun attacks disoriented Shocker, leaving him completely defenseless against this type of attack. Despite attempts to close the distance for melee combat or create a defensive barrier with vibrations, Shocker struggled as his opponent constantly shifted positions and maintained a relentless attack rhythm. Green Arrow maintained his advantage. Not only was he a sharpshooter, but he was also a seasoned melee fighter, having faced and defeated many opponents stronger than Shocker. A precise close-range strike, combined with grappling techniques or a special arrow, Green Arrow is the superior fighter. Shocker, while dangerous, relies on simple technology and lacks tactical versatility. In contrast, Green Arrow pushes the limits of human potential with skill, experience, and a flexible arsenal sufficient to completely overwhelm his opponent. Green Arrow wins most battles almost overwhelmingly, with a very high win rate.
What do you think about this fight? Please share your thoughts in the comments. Thank you all very much.